In this video, I'll teach you how to make this unicorn effect from start to finish in Metaspark Studio. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. A quick disclaimer before we start. I'm assuming that you already know the basics of Metaspark Studio, so I'll not be explaining the basic things. However, I'd suggest you to watch this video from start to finish, regardless of what level you are in currently, because by making this effect, you learn 8 new concepts which you can apply and make more such amazing effects. Here I'm on my desktop and I'm using Spark AR version 170. You can see it over here. If you're using a slightly older version or a newer version, the steps of this video will remain exactly the same. You don't have to worry about that. Here under Create New tab, select Sharing Effect, which will create a blank project for Instagram and Facebook effects. Let's wait for it to load. I'll just maximize this. The first thing you have to do is you have to go to Project and go to Edit Properties and disable Facebook because we are only making this for Instagram. Next, we'll go into Compression and change the default compression method to None and set the quality to 100%. Next, what we have to do is, if you take a look at a unicorn's face, it has some differentiating facial features such as a horn, ears, and also big eyes. So for that, what we'll do is we'll import a 3D model of horns and ears. To do that, you can just go into the asset panel at the bottom left side and click on Import and go into the assets folder, go into 3D and click on this unicorn model.fbx file, click on Open. So you'll get this assets folder for free in the description down below, so you can follow along this tutorial. Next, what I'll do is I'll drag this 3D model into our scene panel. Then it will be visible in our scene. You can see over here, it is in our scene, but it is not tracking the face right now. For that, we have to use a face tracker. So I'll right click here, go to Add Object and go to Face Tracker. Oh, by the way, I'm rotating like this with my right mouse click, and if I use my middle mouse and hold it and drag around, that will help me to pan around the scene. So still the 3D model is not tracking the face. That is because this 3D model is not taking the properties of the face tracker. This face tracker gives us the position, rotation and scale of the face in the 3D scene. So what we have to do is we have to drag this 3D model and make it a child of the face tracker by dragging it on top of the face tracker. So we have it as a child of the face tracker. Now you can see it is tracking the face. And I've already set these rotations in Blender. Let me just open Blender and show you what this project looks like. Unicorn model. Yep. So here, if I enable these, you can see that I've used face assets to make sure the position of the ears and horn is proper, and I've also used a face mesh. Once I was done optimizing the 3D models, I went to File, Export and selected FBX. Then I imported that 3D model into Metaspark. So let's go back to Metaspark. Okay. Right now you can see these horns and ears are not looking that great because they don't have a proper material on them. So let's apply a material. Just expand this and select ears and create new material. Double click on the material. So let's name is material ear. And then select horn and do the same. Create new material. Double click, material dot on. Done. Next, I'll change the shader type to flat to both of them. Okay. Next, what we'll do is we'll apply matte cap materials onto these. So I've already given you matte cap materials in the assets folder. Go to assets, import. And here go to matte cap folder and select all 3 and click on Open. So since we have selected no compression, none of these textures are compressed by default. Next, what we'll do is we'll enable the patch editor and we'll go into the material ear and create a texture for environment. Make sure this environment is enabled and make a patch for the texture. Next, drag this matte cap texture into the patch editor and connect it to the material layer. By the way, texture just means an image. Understand that. Whenever I am saying texture, it's just an image. Right now, I've connected that to the environment texture, but it is not showing anything. That is because you have to change the diffuse color to black. Then it will take all the properties of that matte cap material. Matte cap is nothing but material capture. It is used to fake the lighting and reflections of a material without actually having those lights or reflections in the scene. So now you can see it has all the properties of this material and it looks so cool. It's just a flat material. Next, what we'll do is we'll use a mix patch. Double click in the patch editor, use a mix patch and drag these two materials as well. And we'll connect the second one and the third one. So mix is used to mix two textures, right? So right now we are mixing the second one and the third one. Here you can set how much you want to mix them. If you set it to 1, it will be completely matte cap 3. If you set it to 0, it will be completely matte cap 2. So let's just connect this. So right now it's set to 0. It's taking all the properties of material capture 2. In matte cap 3, if I set it to 1, then it will take all the properties of matte cap 3. So we want somewhere in between. So what we'll do is we'll make this 0.5. So it takes properties of both. Let's connect the third one as well using another mix patch. And let's set it to 0.5 again. So right now we have this unique blend of all three materials. And next what I'll do is I'll go to the AR library and I'll search for rainbow. There's a shader, Rainbow-O-Matic. Let's just download that. Close. And here in the patches folder under the asset manager, you can see we have a Rainbow-O-Matic patch. Just drag this in the patch editor and then use another mix patch. Connect both of them to the inputs, the first input and the second input, and connect the output to the material of the ear. So here if I change this right now to 1, it will take the whole Rainbow-O-Matic texture, but we want to mix the matte cap texture and the rainbow material half-half. So we'll set it to 0.5. And here you can see right now it's going like this, horizontal. Let's change the type to 2. It's vertical. 3. Okay, this looks good. Right now the saturation I feel is a bit high. I'll set it to 5. And I'll just collapse this and organize this. So this is our material for the ear. Let's do the same for our horn. So go to horn, change the diffuse color to black and enable environment, create a new texture. This time we'll use the same mix patch from here, but we'll use another Rainbow-O-Matic patch. Connect it to another mix patch, connect this and connect this. So since we are making it 0.5, that is 50% of both of them, we don't have to worry about the order we are connecting these two. Now I'll change this to probably type 2. I'll change the saturation to 5 and yep, it's done. And we already have something really cool. We can even change the direction of this animation. If you go here, if I just disable this, it looks like these ears and this rainbow animation that's happening, it is going outwards. I'll change the animation duration to 2 and animation duration to 2 and collapse this. Done. So let's create a comment around this. Select everything, go to comment, and this is purple color and it is our horn and ears shader. Cool. It's very important to stay organized, so that's why I do this commenting whenever I'm working on any project. It's also really useful when you come back to this project after some time. I'll put myself over here. So next what we have to do is we have to add a head occluder. Right now if you see, let me just change this to my camera. If we do this, then the horns and the ear should actually go behind my head. Right now they are not going behind my head. So let's change that by adding an occluder. An occluder is a thing which blocks an item which is behind it. Occluding is nothing but blocking. So what I'll do is I'll go to AR library and search for head occluder, select this block and click on import. Once that is imported, I'll drag this into our focal distance. And now let's see if it's working. As it is, it's not working. So what we'll do is we'll create a new layer for it. We'll change the name of the layer as Occluder. It's not occluding. We'll just bring it down. Refresh. Yep, it's occluding now. Yep, this occluder is working. I'll go back to the simulator video. Occluder is working. And you can see our ears are cut off. So let's just adjust that. Go to Recon model, select ears. Let's take it a bit up. Okay, this is fine. You can adjust the horn as well. Rotation, I think 5. And I can change the scale of it a bit. This and reduce. So put this in the user's head. Done. Okay, let's save the project before we lose it. Go to file, go to save. I'll just save this as Unicorn tutorial v2. Next we'll add the makeup. The makeup is on the face, so we have to add these makeup elements on the face tracker. So right click on the face tracker, go to add object and select null object. So null object is an empty object which will hold other 2D or 3D objects inside it. Right click here and here select face mesh. Right now it's not child of the null object. I'll just drag it into the null object like this. And I'll name this null object as makeup. Done. I'll also name this as makeup. And go to materials and create a new material. Double click on the material name, change the shader type to flat, and let's call it material makeup. Done. Now click on choose file and choose the makeup file that I have provided to you in the assets folder, and that is it. It's applied and it's that easy. I'll probably change the opacity to 80%. Damn, that looks really cool. So let me tell you how to make this makeup element. It's nothing but a texture. So what you can do is you can download face assets, open Photoshop and then just draw on it. So you open Photoshop and you import this image which you can get in the face assets folder of Metaspark, and then you can just draw on top of this. So if I go back and if I go into assets, I just drag this here. You can see it is just drawn on top of it. So let's suppose you wanted to tattoo or something, right? You use a brush. Let me change this like this. I'll make a new layer. Use a brush and draw anything like this. So if I wanted to make a blush, I'd just go here, change the color to pink, not this pink, something like this. And then I would just tab it. That's it. That's a blush. Then you can change the opacity of this to make it look however you want. After you're done, you just disable this background layer and export this and then import this into Metaspark. Cool. Let me just close this. We're back in Metaspark. Next what we'll do is we'll add the eyes. So for that, go to the face tracker, add object, and create a null object, and then create another null object inside that null object. We'll name this eyes. This one would be the left eye, and then we'll duplicate this for the right eye. So right click on the left eye, go to add object, add a plane. Next create a material for that plane. Select the plane and name it left eye. click on this material, create new material, change the material name to material left eye, and shader type to flat. Here go to choose file and select the eyes texture. We have this. Next what you do is you just duplicate this and make it right eye and change this to right eye as well. Make another material for the right eye. And select the right eye and set it to the right eye material. So let's change the scale of this. So I've experimented with this and the value is 0.15 for the eyes. Next what we'll do is we'll have to place this on the eyes. For that, you create a producer patch for the face tracker. We need the data of the face tracker, right? So you take the face tracker, drag it into the patch editor, get this whole thing, just expand this like this. It's easier to view like this. Next we'll take this left eye null object, create a patch for position and do the same for the right eye. Next what we'll do is we'll create a patch from the face output of the face tracker and search for eyeball and take the position of left iris and set it to left. Take the position of right iris and set it to right. And right now you can see the material seems like it is cut off. So for that you go into left and right eye, select both of them and disable use depth test. Let's experiment with this. I'll just disable use depth test, and also I might change the scale of these, like 0.2 will also work. Bit bigger now. Next we have to make the eyes look bigger. Right now you can see the eyes are a bit bigger, the texture of the eyes are a bit bigger than the actual eyes. So we'll use face distortion. Face distortion is nothing but changing the shape of the face, like changing the eye shape, like making it bigger, changing the shape of the lips, making it fuller, changing the shape of the nose, making it smaller. You can do anything. It's like cosmetic surgery but done in augmented reality. So you go here and you go to your library, search for face distortion, and here you can see a block. Import it into your project and I'll close this. Done. I'll drag this face distortion into the face tracker. As soon as I do that, you can see the face of the user has already changed. So let's go through these values. If I make this 0, then there's no change. Make this 0.5, it's like eyes are bigger. If I make this nose scale bigger, you can do this as well. I can even move the nose front in Z direction. So this looks nice. Right now you can see this where there appears to be some cutoff. So let's fix that quickly. Select everything and disable depth test and right to depth. So this fixes that. We can leave the right to depth enabled there. It's not doing any change to our project. So right now it looks good, and you can even move this slightly, like 0.0001 the next direction, 0.001 in Y direction. Okay, probably minus 0.001. The values are small because it's in meters. Okay, this looks good. I'll do the same for the right one, 0.0005 and 0.001. Not 000, it's 00. Done. So we're done here. Right now you can see we have the makeup element, we have the eye color. Let's apply the heart tattoo and also the lipstick. It's the same as the makeup, right? You go here, select the makeup face mesh Control C, Control V. What that will do is create a new face mesh, and it will also give us a new material to work with. Let's make this tattoo and change the material name to tattoo as well. Here, go to new texture, under texture, and select the hard tattoo. Boom, it's done. We can change the color of this here. This looks good. I'll change the blend mode to add. Done. Next, do the same for the lips. Control C, Control V. It will be lipstick. Create. Already a new material is created because we did Control C, Control V, but it takes the properties of the last one. So lipstick, we'll change the color to white, and then we'll go to new texture and select lipstick. Done. Right now it's not looking good with add blend mode. Let's change that to associate alpha and change this to like a 40%. So we also have lipsticks applied right now. So we have all the makeup elements applied on our user. It's already looking so good. Let's change the color of the hair. So to do that, go into scene panel, go to add object and select canvas. Right click on canvas, add object, select a rectangle. Okay, so let's change the size of this rectangle. Select the rectangle and click on fill width and fill height. So it takes the size of the whole screen. Let's change the name to hair. And right now you can see it has a checkerboard pattern, which means it does not have any material applied to it. So click on this material, create new material, change the name of the material to material underscore hair, change shader type to flat. Done. Yeah. Next, go to camera and click on segmentation and create a texture for the hair. I'll change the name of this and I'll name this as hair mask. Next, go to the hair rectangle and create a patch for the material. And what I'll do is I'll just create another rainbow-matic patch, drag it into the patch editor, and I'll directly connect that to the hair. And you can see the horn is clipping through this rectangle. So for that, what we can do is we can just go into the material and disable use depth test. That will make sure our material is in the front. Okay, this is done. Right now you can see it's applied completely on the screen. We only want it to be applied on the user's hair. So for that, what we'll do is we'll select the hair material, go to alpha and change the texture to hair mask. Change this. Change this. Done. It's applied only on the hair right now. I'll change the alpha blend mode to associate alpha and change the opacity to probably 35, 75, too much, 35. Looks fine to me, but we don't want any animation on it. You can even change the type of this if you like. I'll just keep it to 1 because that looks the most natural. Okay, we have applied the hair color. What we'll do next is we'll go to the face distortion and reduce it a bit, like 0.3. That looks better. And also you can see this hair texture is in front of the horn, but we want the horn to be in front. So what we can do is create a new layer for the horn and that will automatically come in the front. Done. I'll just restart this. So right now if I go here and switch it to my camera, you can see even if I close my eyes, the eyes are not going anywhere because it's tracking the eye position. So we have to make sure that these eyes get disabled whenever you're closing your eye. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take the output from the face and we'll search for left eye closed, and also do the same for right eye closed. Next, we'll take the left and right eye null objects, create a patch to control its visibility. So whenever the left eye closed is true, then we want the eye to be not visible. So for that we'll use a not patch. Just go to not and connect it to left eye. Done. Another not and right eye. So we are done here. And if I go back to the camera, if I close any of my eyes, it is not visible now. Cool. Let's go back to the simulator. Done. Okay, let's name these. This is our hair material, right? Let's take this, comment around hair shader. Next we'll add the sparkles for the eyes. So for that, right click on the face tracker and go to null object. Name this null object as sparkles. For sparkles we need a particle emitter. So right click on the sparkles null object and add object, go to particle system. It's a child of the sparkles. Name this as left emitter. Done. So here we have to change a couple of properties. First let's create a material. Change the shader type to flat. Rename the material to sparkle. Texture, choose file, select the sparkle file. Change the blend mode to add and disable depth test. Okay. Next let's change its properties. I'll change the spray angle to 90x and 100y. That will go in this direction. I'll change the speed to 0.05. This is better. Change the lifespan to 1. Change the scale to 0.05 maybe. It's too much. 0.01 was fine. Okay, we don't need to mess with any of the other settings. Next, here on the top right side you can see this option which is called actions. Here go to position on face and click on left eyelid. So it will automatically create those patches for you. Let's place these properly. Okay, right now it is placed on the left upper eyelid center. Let's change that. Left eye center, left eye inside, left outside corner. Yeah, left outside corner looks better. Yeah, do the same for the right. So what you do is make sure it's child of the null object and just duplicate it. This time I'm not using Ctrl C Ctrl V, I'm just using Ctrl D. Call it right emitter and create a patch for its position. Connect it to right's outside corner and also change the direction. Change the X direction to -90. Boom, that's done. Now we have these sparkles coming out of the eye. Right now we have to control these with the blink. So let's go ahead and create a blink patch. Drag the output from the face tracker and search for blink. Put it here. I'll zoom it and search for a switch patch. Because the blink is giving a pulse, we have to switch it to control a boolean value. So connect the blink pulse to turn on and then use a delay value to turn it off after, let's say, 0.5 seconds. Now we'll create a patch for the birth rate. Birth rate is the number of particles that are emitted. If I change it to 50, then 50 particles will be emitted. I'll create a patch for it, for the right and left both, because I've selected both in the scene panel. And then I'll use this boolean value for a if then else patch, and whenever this is true, then set the emitter birth rate to, let's suppose, 15, else it is 0. Okay, so whenever the user blinks, there are 15 particles that are emitted. You can see it for here. I can change it to my camera. Oh, we have also changed the shape of the nose. Damn. Okay, I'll reduce the shape of the nose. 0.5 seems good. It's also a bit too much. 0.25. It's fine. Okay. I'll go back to the simulator video and restart. Cool. Everything is working. Next, what we'll do is we'll add a background to this. So go ahead and add another canvas in the scene and add a rectangle to it. Rename the rectangle as background. Create material, create new material, and then change the shader type to flat. Material, background. Cool. Let's use all this and comment around it first. So this is face tracking and also interaction. Just use as face tracking and interaction logic. Done. Let's move this side to be more organized. Okay, now we'll create a shader for the background. So come here and we need to separate the user from the background, right? Let's first select the background and make sure it fills the whole screen, and then disable its depth test and try to depth. And next what we'll do is we'll create a patch for its texture. It's over here. I'll zoom it in and again use Rainbow Matic. You can search any patch that you have in the assets manager directly by double clicking, and here I'll connect this. So right now you can see it looks like this, but we want it to just separate the user and be applied around the user. So for that what we can do is we can go to camera and create a mask for the person, similar to how we created a mask for the hair. Oh, I created a camera depth. No, go to camera, segmentation, go to person segmentation, and change this to person mask. Okay. Next, drag this into the patch editor and use a mix patch and connect this. Connect the person segmentation on the alpha. So right now you can see the person is separated, but the horns are separated as well, because the person segmentation mask only gives you the mask of the person, but we also want to create the mask including the horns and the ears. So for that what we'll do is we'll add a scene render pass. So let's just change this style of this. Now this looks good. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll select the unicorn model and we'll go into tags and tag it as unicorn. Okay. Next we'll double click here and we'll search for scene render pass, and under the tags we'll just write unicorn.subtree. So it will give us a texture of all the objects that have the tag unicorn, and we'll change the default color to transparent so that we only get this. Next what we'll do is we'll take the output from here and we'll add it to the person segmentation mask alpha, and then we'll connect it to this alpha. So right now the person along with the horns are separated from the background, and the background looks very trippy right now. Let me change that. I'll change the saturation to maybe 5. So this looks good. I think 7.5 would be better. Yeah. Next what I'll do is go to background and change the blend mode to add or screen. Screen looks good. Awesome. So right now we have everything ready. Let's add a bit of screen interactions. I'll create a comment around this and name this as background shader. Okay. Next what I'll do is I'll create a screen tab patch. So I'll double click here and go to screen tab, and okay, I have to go back here, right? Select the canvas that has the rectangle of the background and make a patch for its visibility, and connect the screen tab output to the canvas. So whenever I'll click on the screen, it will be visible. It's that easy. Fine. Next we'll control the speed and the direction of this animation that is happening in the background with the mouth open. So what we'll do is we'll expand this and create a patch for mouth open. We're taking it from the face tracker, and I'll use a sender. So this will tell us if the mouth is open or not. So let's call this is mouth open, and since mouth open is a true or false value, that is a boolean, I'll change the type to boolean as well. Next what I'll do is I'll just drag this and okay, we have already created mouth open patch, right? So we can get the openness from here as well. Sender, we'll also take the mouth openness value and mouth openness, done. So we need both of these to control the values over here. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll use a receiver and get is mouth open. If the mouth is open, then change the direction. So how it will look like in live effect. We want to reverse this, right? So what we'll do is we'll use a not patch. So whenever the mouth is not open, change the direction. But the animation is happening really slow right now. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take another receiver and change it to mouth openness, that we are sending it from the other side, and use a to range patch. Set the minimum value to 1 and maximum to 0, and connect that to the animation duration. So this is how it looks like. So I think it's also being applied on the horns, the background texture. So to fix this issue, you can just enable use depth test and it will work. I'll change the video back to this video in the simulator, and we have everything ready. So what is remaining here is we have to also add a voice changer. So let's use this and organize this a bit. I'll just name this as control of background. Change this to green. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll also add a voice changer. So double click over here and search for a pitch shifter. We have seen the speaker in the scene, so right click in the scene and go to add object and select a speaker. Change this to pitch shifter, and then we'll create a patch for its audio. And now we'll take the microphone and drag it into our patch editor, which will give us the audio. We'll connect it to this and we'll connect the output to the pitch shifter. Comment around, change the color of this to maybe orange. Let's call this voice changer. So right now if I go here and go to my webcam, and if I speak, nothing happens because we have to change the preview to microphone preview. Hello. Nothing's happening. Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Varun here. So yeah, this is what you can do. Let's just change it to 5 because a unicorn will have a high-pitched voice. Okay, that is done. I'll disable the microphone, otherwise it will keep repeating whatever I say in this high-pitched voice. To upload this, you can just go to File and then go to Publish, or you can directly go to Publish from here and select your account, select the owner, and next what you do is you click on Upload. You'll also record a demo video directly from the computer, or you can go to this test on device option, click Send to Instagram, which will create a test link for you, which you can try on your phone and see if the effect is working properly or not, debug it, and then what you can do is you can make a demo video using that test link. Next, after that, after you have made a demo video, you go to File, you go to Publish, or to Export. Then you can just export this as an AR export file here. Then you go to this website, that is Metaspark dashboard. Let's close this, and you go to Publish, go to Effect, Continue, and here give it a name, Unicorn Tutorial. I've already uploaded it in the name of Unicorn Love. You can check it out. Next, you just drag this export file here and set the category. This appearance, selfie, love, animal. Works. Let's add a bit of keywords here. Love, dreamy. Okay, you can add up to 20 tags like this. So next we have to add the demo video and the icon. I'll just go to upload image, assets, icon, add the icon, and click on confirm. Go here, and we also have a demo video. I can just drag this into the demo video panel, or directly click on upload and upload it from the computer. Once it's uploaded, I think it's more than 15 seconds, I'm not sure. If it's more than 15 seconds, it won't work. So you can record this demo video on your phone, it should be less than 15 seconds. Right now it's 13, so it's fine. So once I've set everything, I click on submit and it will get accepted within 24 hours. And that's it guys. That's the whole process. So by making this effect, you learned how to work with 2D and 3D objects, how to make face tracking effects. You also learned how to work with matte cap shaders, combine textures. You understood how to make logic using patch editor. You applied makeup on user's face like eyeliner, eyeshadow, tattoo, lipstick, and you also learned how to distort the user's face, that is change the shape of user's face. You learned segmentation, that is hair segmentation and person segmentation. Finally, you added the particle emitter. Along with that, you also added a voice changer effect to it, so that whenever a person is speaking, the effect changes their voice. How cool is that? You learned these 8 new concepts in this video. I hope you have learned something new today, and thank you so much for watching. Let me in the comment section if you have any doubts. If you make any filter or effect watching my tutorial, then please share them with me on Instagram @vr7.tech. I appreciate all of your works. Thank you so much for watching again. See you in the next video. Bye bye.